Heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Derry has finally aired and we've got episode 1, simply just titled The Pilot. The first episode gives us a chance to see these new characters for what we're going to get throughout the first season, or at least with thoughts. Now there is going to be spoilers in this review, guys, so if you haven't seen the episode yet and you don't want to be spoiled, then maybe don't watch this review. But if you don't mind spoilers, or if you have seen the episode, then continue watching. At the beginning of the episode, we're introduced to a boy called Matty Clements, who I don't think, in fact he's not part of Stephen King's novel. He's an entirely new character for the show. Now, he has went missing. We don't know if he's dead or alive, or at least the characters don't know if he's dead or alive, and some of his friends and so-called friends are trying to figure out what happened to him. The episode is predominantly set in April 1962, just a few months after Matty's disappearance, and this other group of kids are trying to figure out what's happened to him and see if they can maybe find them, because one of the little girls, Lily, she's in her bathroom and she can hear Matty in the pipes, so she goes and tells her other friends that she thinks that Matty is still alive. Let's go and find him. She's joined by Teddy, Phil, Susie and Ronnie, and they all go on this little adventure to try and figure out what happened to Matty. That's basically what the episode is about. Now, we do get a massive part of the episode at the end, which I will leave till a little bit later on in this review, but I'll start off with the look, the feel and the vibe to this episode. It did feel like a continuation of It from 2017 and of course It Chapter 2 in 2019. The episode is directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed those two movies, so it did have that continual feel to it. Now, I know they're just kids, but if I'm being honest, I feel like the boy who plays Teddy and the boy who plays Phil, I felt like they were overacting. Teddy wasn't that great, and the boy who played Phil, he was funny at times, but I felt like they were trying too hard to be the characters from the movies. And it sounds like I'm maybe being harsh because they are kids at the end of the day. But as we've seen at the end of this episode, it doesn't really matter, because we find out that Teddy and Phil don't last very long. Yes, in a shocking event at the end of the episode, It, aka Pennywise, he kills not just Phil and Teddy, but he kills Phil's little sister Susie as well. I felt like that was them trying to mimic or maybe even outdo the events of It from 2017 when little Georgia gets killed. When I saw little Susie appear in this episode, I thought Phil's little sister Susie is probably going to be the Georgie in this, and she's going to get shockingly killed. But I was right. But also Phil and Teddy died as well. I think this just shows that being the first episode, nobody's safe. Now, of course, they might just show us that in the first episode so it looks crazy and we might get something like this in the season and it doesn't ever happen. Hopefully we still get episodes like this where characters that we think are going to be main characters just get killed willy-nilly. So the fact that Teddy and Phil both died in this episode, I was shocked, because they were throughout the entire marketing material. They were on the posters, the wallpapers, and of course they were in the trailers as well. So I was shocked when they died so soon. Now, all of the kids are brand new characters. None of them featured in the movies. None of them were in the books either. The only character that has a recognisable name throughout these children is Teddy, because his last name is Uris and he is part of a Jewish family. So I automatically thought that Teddy was going to be the father of Stanley Uris. Of course, that's not going to be the case now, because Teddy's dead. He died before he could have children, but he does have an older brother in the show. So it could be Teddy's older brother might appear more in this season, and we find out that he is the father of Stanley Uris. None of them might be related to Stan, or none of them might be the father of Stanley. Maybe they're just a relative of the Urises. But of course, Stanley Uris Teddy Urus, they've got the curly hair, they've got to be related somehow. When it comes to the adults, we get Leroy Hanlon. Of course, he is the father of Will Hanlon, who is the father of Mike Hanlon. So that's a connection to the book and the movies as well. And we've also got Dick Halloran too, which again, he's a character in multiple Stephen King novels, and he will be playing a bigger role in the show. Of course, he didn't have a big role in this episode. Leroy did, but Dick didn't have a massive part to play in this episode. Some Easter eggs that I noticed in this episode was when you see the Paul Bunyan sign where it says "Welcome to Derry, Maine," you see below that, just below that, someone's put a sign just below there, and that is the Legion of the White Decency. That's the racist group that we will see more of in the show. Lily mentioned that she doesn't want to go back to the asylum where she was before, or at least where she visited before, and that was the Juniper Hill Asylum, which is another asylum used in a Stephen King novel, Needful Things. We see Bert the turtle appear throughout this episode too, and that of course is a nod to the turtle in the novel. That turtle's name is Maturin, and because we get Bert the turtle, I don't know, at least in this season anyway, I don't think we're going to see Maturin the turtle in this season. If we do see it, it might be in like a flashback to when Pennywise or It comes down to Earth for the first time, but I don't think that will play a major role, especially in season 1. I really liked the Music Man part of this episode when they go to the cinema and they watch the Music Man. Of course, the lyrics to the song that he's singing is quite eerie because it's connected to the episode, and obviously it reminds us of parts of the movie that we got in 2017 when they were watching that home movie in the garage. And lastly, and I think this is probably the biggest Easter egg, is when you see Lily and her friend going into the bathroom in the school, you see a graffiti on the wall that says Alvin Marsh with a love heart. Someone obviously loves Alvin Marsh, but Alvin Marsh is the father of Beverly Marsh, so I feel like we're going to see Alvin in this show. He's obviously a bad guy. He grew up and had Beverly as an adult, so I think he might play a role in the show, and he will be one of the bad characters. If he doesn't appear, then it's just simply a cool Easter egg, but it is a blink or you'll miss it part of that episode. If we fast forward back to the ending to the episode, I think it was quite an iconic episode, to be honest, because of all the bloodshed at the end. And I think that's just shown us that, like I said, nobody's safe, but it also shows that it's striking fear into the surviving children. That's what Pennywise or It wants to do. It wants to get these kids scared so that they'll go around school talking about it so that it can feed on their fear. I think it's also cool that we haven't seen Leroy's wife yet. We haven't seen Will Hanlon yet. We haven't seen Pennywise in his costume yet. I think that's good because it's good to savour that. It's good to savour the new characters that are coming into it slowly but surely, and of course Pennywise as well. Yes, I think people will complain that they haven't seen Pennywise. I've already seen online that people want to see Pennywise every minute of every episode. It takes me back to the Halloween movies where you get Halloween fans who love the Halloween movies, but you get Michael Myers fans who only like Halloween movies because of Michael Myers. But I think if you're a fan of the Stephen King novel It, and if you're a fan of the movies, then I think and hope that you'll enjoy the show overall. But if you're just a fan of It because of Pennywise, then you might not like this show because I think it will be a slow burn. You won't see Pennywise all the time. And when you do see Pennywise, he's not always going to be the dancing clown. It can appear as Pennywise the clown. It can appear as anything. And in this first episode, it obviously appeared as this little bat baby that I thought was quite cool. And it's a nod to the novel as well. So I think if you've read the novel, you know about it, you'll enjoy this episode. But so far, so good for me. I'm loving the look of it. I'm loving the aesthetic. I do like, and unfortunately I do like the fact that these characters that did die in this episode because they weren't the best actors. I'm hoping that the people that will replace them in the upcoming episodes will be a little bit better. But it is cool that they came into it. We thought they were the main characters and now they're dead. So what are your thoughts on the episode overall, guys? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was better than the movies so far? I know it's a little bit too early to tell, but I've already seen people online saying it's better than It Chapter 2 already. I don't think that's the case, but I don't disagree with you if that's what you think. And also, did you notice any other Easter eggs that maybe I missed? Because I like to see the Easter eggs in these episodes. Because there's going to be 8 episodes in season 1, I'm sure we'll get a lot more. And I'll try my best to try and see the Easter eggs in the episodes. And if I miss any, then hopefully you can tell me them down below. As always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone to know!